This is how to make groovy R&B bass lines from an actual bass player. I guarantee you won't ever find another bass line video like this on YouTube, especially that's catered for producers. If you don't have an actual bass, it's fine. You can use a VST like Scarby, Rickenbacker bass. And don't worry, everything that I've just played is gonna be translated into MIDI. And yes, you're gonna be able to know how to play exactly what I just played at the end of this video. It's actually way easier than you think. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, this is a sample that we're gonna be adding a bass line to, okay? So now, right now, you probably just know how to play every single root note of the chord that you're currently in. And that's totally fine. But that's only because you don't know how simple it is, okay? Let me ask you. If you can play the root note of the chord that you're in, why can't you play every other key that's in the chord? Right now, we're in the key of E flat minor. And what we're going to play is the 4 to the 1, 4 to the 1 again, to the 3. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the number system. Basically, you put a number to every other key in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right back to the 1, right? Same thing with your chords. So if you're playing a 4, your last key right here is a 7 because it's 7 notes relatively to the 4. That's why it says G sharp minor 7. So basically, this is the 1, this is the 3, this is the 5, and the 7. But let me actually give you an example with a bass VST, okay? Every single key that you play in the chord that you're in is going to sound good. And I mean every single key. And once you play a chord like a 13, basically you are playing every single key in the scale too. So let me play some for you, okay? Boom. That's it. It's that simple. And even the lower keys. They work too. But hold on, there is a bit more to this. There are some keys that seem a bit off playing right after your root note than other keys. So for example, right? Play your root and then a 4 or the root to a 3. It's not going to sound as congruent if we play a root to a 5 or a root to a 7 or a root to an octave. I'm not saying that you can't play a 4 right after. In certain contexts, it does sound really good. It's just that more often than not, you'll probably hear a 1 to a 5 or 1 to a 7 or 1 to an octave than any other number. But then right after you play like a 1 to a 5 or 1 to a 7, you can basically play whatever you want to play. And then once you do that, the bass is just essentially like another lead. However, you're going to have to transition to the next root note when the chord changes, obviously. And it's all cool to know, but you still need to keep it simple. And then whenever the time arises to do whatever fuck shit you want to do it. And also, if you want me to personally give you feedback on your beats and just overall just help you level up as a producer, click the link in the below. There's a one-on-one call that you can hop on with me. We can chop it up, give you some feedback. It's 30 minutes, totally free. So yeah. So knowing this, as a bass player, there's still go-to licks that you're going to be going to more often than not. And these are the licks that you're probably just going to be playing 95% of the time, if I'm just being completely honest. So we have the 1-5 octave, which again, the octave is just the 1. You have the 1 octave, or the 1-7, 1-5-7. And then 1-5 octave to the 9. And that's really it. Now it's really just how you play them, your bounce to it. And this is something that you really just have to practice by yourself, really. It doesn't take much time at all, if I'm being completely honest. All you got to do is just play your root note and then just give it bounce to it. So like, for example, like this. And then you combine that with doing all the little, right? You have a really good bass line just like that. So with all that out of the way, let's actually go ahead and break down that bass line that I did at the beginning of this video. So as promised, this is what it looks like with the highlighted scale. Alright, so first let's start off by identifying all the real notes, okay? 4, 1, 4, 1, 3. That's the chord progression, okay? So if you go by every single chord and list them relatively to the chord, it's gonna be like this, okay? So it's gonna be 1, 5, octave, 9, octave, 9, octave, back to the 5, and then right here, essentially this is like a transition note to our other chord, which is basically a 7 relative to this, and then it goes to a 5 octave, 9 octave, and then again here's all the little sprinkles that at this point we can really just play whatever you want and it's gonna really sound good. So right now, then right here, 1, 5 octave, 9, and then whatever sprinkles. So really the pattern is really I'm just playing the 1, 5 octave, then the 9, and then playing whatever I want right after. And then right here, this is really nice because all I'm doing is just playing the 1 and then the 7, back to the 1 to the 7, sort of like a chord. I'm telling you right now, you're probably never gonna see this ever again. Unless you're listening to like a Thundercat song, you're never really gonna hear like chords like this in a bass line, but you can do it. And then it goes down to our 3. So then it goes to 1, 5, straight to the 9, down to the root 9, and then little sprinkles, essentially. So yeah. But of course, the bass isn't necessarily the only important thing when making R&B samples. So if you want to know how to make authentic R&B samples for Giveon, click on this video right here.